So let's get into the discussion for the day. President Bola Tinubu has just signed into law the North Central Development Commission bill. What is the justification for this regional commission?
Well, you understand the regional commissions do a lot of things, but let me start with ours, and then I can go back to history. So the one in North Central, the whole idea is for this commission to be able to promote economic growth and development, as far as North Central region is concerned, to reduce the amount of poverty that we see, especially in the region, as well as inequality that we are seeing in the region. To also improve the quality of life of our own people, and of course, finally, to enhance infrastructural and social amenities to the people. These are the programs that are there. Now we have to look at the competitive areas of advantage as far as this North Central is concerned. North Central is very, very strong on rural development as well as agriculture. Agriculture is very strong in this area. North Central also happens to be the home of Benue, Nasarawa, Plateau, all the other states of Kogi, Kwara, and Niger. Niger happens to be 11% of the entire Nigeria. So North Central is key, apart from being central, to the development of Nigeria. So we selected the areas of our strength. As I mentioned, we selected agriculture, we selected healthcare, education, infrastructure, youth empowerment, environmental protection. So those are the areas of focus as far as this North Central Development Commission is concerned. Now, for someone like me that came from the oil and gas industry, when the NCDC was actually developed, one was to address the issue of security in the Niger Delta. And you have seen what that has done. It has gone a lot to do so much, because that was the time we were having kidnappings, blowout of pipelines, oil production, theft, and all those kind of things. So developing that, it focused in some of those areas, and it has been able to address them adequately. I'm happy, to say that now we are beginning to see improvement in oil production there. When the one in the Northeast was created, it's also in that line. We have seen some of the challenges in the Northeast, Boko Haram, and the lack of development because of the destruction that Boko Haram has caused. Again, that has gone to reduce some of the programs that we had in that area. The same thing actually with the Northwest, Southeast, and the South-South. So we want to thank Mr. President for actually ascending to the bill that finally we have that of North Central, because North Central was the only one that was lacking, that was not in the budget. But finally, Mr. President has done that. We want to show great appreciation to Mr. President for that, as well as members of the National Assembly, especially, Senator Moro and J.J. Umaru, for the concurrent bills that they presented.
All right, Mr. Governor, you've just explained the rationale behind the creation of these other regional commissions, insecurity in the Northeast, militancy in the South-South. But for the North Central, does it appear there is some serious challenge, whether it has to do with security or so, to justify the creation of this? Because, just like it just appears as though maybe it was created to just meet up, to be at par with other geopolitical zones, and there's perhaps not some cogent challenge that the region is experiencing. Are there any specific challenges you would like to share?
No, of course there are challenges. When I mentioned to you earlier that we have to look at the areas of concerns or areas of competitiveness, that the North Central has. I mentioned to you agriculture. There is always competition about who is the food basket of Nigeria, and it is always a debate between Nasarawa, Kogi, and Benue, and all of them are in the North Central. So food security is of concern, and it is here. One of the areas that Mr. President has pursued seriously is about looking at other sources of revenue outside oil. North Central is the home of mining activities that is there. So it is not just necessarily about the bad aspect of challenges, but there are good aspects of challenges for economic development of our country. And North Central has been key, in providing that. So, and that is the area. So, in fact, as the word comes, North Central development. So it is looking at development, not necessarily addressing challenges. And I think that's what it's all about. And I think it's a wonderful thing that is coming for us.
All right. And talking about your state, Nasarawa State, we don't seem to hear, a lot about insecurity, as it were. But the issue of farmers-herders clashes, of course, exists in the North Central. I talk about Benue, the whole Agatu killings, and some other stories that we get to hear about. But what exactly is innate for Nasarawa State, if we may, pin it down there?
So in fact, Nasarawa is more than any other state in the North Central. Number one, it is the epicenter of mining activities. It is also a state that has seen serious security challenges in the past. And some of these security challenges, farmer-herder crisis that we had in 2019, when we came in, we had lots of problems also about some kidnappers and some bandits that actually relocated from other parts of the country into Nasarawa State. Nasarawa State also has become the major attraction when people are looking at Abuja. So the fastest growing local government in entire Nigeria is called Karu local government. It's in Nasarawa State. And that local government needs to be developed. And the development of that local government is to the better of Nigeria and actually to the better of Abuja. Because majority of some of these middle-level workers who work in Abuja, prefer to live either in Nasarawa State around Karu area or in Niger State, around the other Sule area. So these are areas that need to be developed. This morning I had some little argument, about what are we doing to bring up development in our area, in these local government areas of Suleja and Karu to meet up with the development in Abuja. So now you can see the only way you can do that, the states don't have the capacity to be able to do that. And some of these bandits who are looking at Abuja, they come and live in some of these local government areas so that Abuja will be the easiest target for them. So if there is anybody who even needs this development commission, of course, it's the North Central. That is the reason why I'm telling you. So it's not necessarily just about when there is a crisis of insecurity. No, we have to look at when there are opportunities and prospects for development. And if you're talking about that, is it mining? Is it agriculture? Is it that? North Central is the right place to go.
Okay, so talking about the opportunities now, you've really emphasized on the place of mining and the fact that your state is like the epicenter for that. How would the establishment of this commission help to, boost mining activities in your state? How would it protect miners?
It will protect miners, one, by what the same counterparts of these kind of commissions are doing in other places. One, with the infrastructure. Most of these companies that I'm telling you that are coming, they require infrastructure. They require power, they require water, they require roads, and while the states are doing their best, and it is actually, mining is actually in the exclusive list. So it is in the list of the federal government. So most of the things the states are doing, even though we're getting our 13% derivation, most of the things the states are doing, but it's a collective thing, both for the state and the federal government. For instance, the company I visited yesterday, with massive sites that they have, I had to go and start working on construction of roads for them in that area. We constructed one 18-kilometer road. We're also constructing additional road. If there is this kind of commission, which we thank Mr. President for approving it and signing it yesterday, now they also will participate, will assist the states, in creating those opportunities for them in the infrastructure and the rest of that. That will encourage some more and more of some of these companies to come in, and do it for Nigeria.
Okay, let's now talk about the challenge of illegal mining. How is the Nasarawa state government tackling this?
We are tackling it along with the federal government and the security agencies. Just about an hour ago, actually, I had a similar meeting also in that. One of the things that we are doing is to ensure that we provide security from all directions, complete security system. One, we work with the security agencies, the police, the soldiers, Navy, sometimes Air Force or so, in order to make sure, because Nasarawa also has a lot of water, River Benue has been very kind to Nasarawa State, covering about 4 local government areas. So some Navy sometimes are able to assist us, to ensure that we measure this area. We do have a law in Nasarawa State that says though we are not the ones to give a license for minerals mining, but we also encourage whoever is coming as part of our own executive order to ensure that whatever they are mining, they are also processing in Nasarawa State.
All right,
and that's the reason why you continue to see the spring up of some of those companies in tin mining, in lithium mining, in tantalite mining, and the rest of that.
I hear you. Governor, we don't have a lot of time. As we wrap up the conversation, I wanted to get your reaction to the statement by former Governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai, that your party, the APC, lacks internal democracy and you're perhaps working to destabilize the opposition. What's your reaction?
Well, I never want to join issues with Governor El-Rufai. I think I will say one similar thing with what his governor has said. And I'm in a better position to say that because I was sitting down there with him. I think Governor El-Rufai was part and parcel of bringing this government of today. And he worked very hard along with us. I remember when the northern governors sat together, I was there, he was there, other governors were there, when we said, we, APC, cannot afford to say we return the presidential ticket. We must rotate this presidential ticket to the south. El-Rufai was there when we took this decision. When we went around the campaign, El-Rufai was there. I'm sure in politics you will come across disagreements. I will prefer that we find a way to settle those disagreements rather than just accusing each other on the TV and accusing each other on that. I think El-Rufai still can play a key role in this country, and I call on him, to find a way, to work with the government to resolve the issues, whatever the issues are, rather than castigating any particular government. That is my own. So I definitely don't agree with some of those issues.
It's a good way to leave the conversation. Governor of Nasarawa State and Chairman, North Central Governors Forum, Abdullahi Sule. Thank you very much for your time on the program.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much for having me.
Well, that's our program today. Watch repeat broadcast at midnight and at 6 a.m. I am Abbosadi at Adeniran Adremi.